We're at the 1987 1/10th Off-Road Electric World Championships held here in Romsey, England. The main sponsor of this event has been Palmer, and I have with me at the moment the president of Palmer USA, Ken McDowell. Ken, I expect you're very happy to be sponsoring this prestigious event.
Yes, we are. In using our agent over here in England, he's done a wonderful job of promoting it. We're from the United States, and we've had a great time over here.
Well, I think that's terrific. It's nice to see a company putting something back into racing, and it's good to see that Palmer supports the hobby.
Well, all the chaps have been wonderful, and it's really a pleasure to work with all of them over here. The club has been just great.
Well, that's great, and I think on behalf of all the 1/10th races everywhere in the world, who all, I'm sure, know the Palmer logo and the Palmer name, we'd like to thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Tony.
111 to 120 in the IFMAR Palmer two-wheel drive off-road championship.
The lap counting is done by an automatic A and B lap counting system, which involves a small transponder being put into the car and a looped aerial being buried fractionally under the surface of the track just in front of the lap counting caravan. As the car passes over the first section of the loop, it turns the transponder on. This then records the lap score for the car and also the amount of seconds and time it's taken for that car to go around the track on that specific lap. When the car passes over the second half of the loop, the transponder is turned off. This, of course, is all done in a split second and is very, very accurate. But just to be safe, they are also operating a second automatic lap counting system as a backup and also a manual system.
Car number 2 from Germany. Nine finish. 2 finish. 4 finish.
Hey, we got Bob Novak here of Novak fame, the speed controllers, servos, which constantly have been on the winning cars for many, many years now on all types of electric racing. How are you enjoying the race at the World Championships here in England?
I'm really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. The weather's been great. People have just been super, really friendly, and I've really enjoyed myself.
While we're here with Bob Novak, perhaps we can have a look at his new Peak Plus Charger. This is really his latest development in electronics, for which he's probably, as I said earlier, best known. Bob, tell us about this new super piece of equipment of yours.
Okay, this is basically a peak detector charger which we just developed and have come out with about a month ago. This version of the charger is what we call the Peak Plus. It has the basic charger with the addition of a volt amp meter. The volt amp meter is used during charging to measure the voltage of the pack, and you can switch it and also measure what current you're running at. It's a constant current charger. We have two adjustments here, one at 4.5 amps or one at 3 amps. Push to start switch. The meter can be turned on or off if you want to use it. It's got its own 9-volt battery, therefore you can disconnect everything and use the meter as a basic voltmeter. The battery will last approximately 8,000 hours, so you only have to replace it about once a year. The case, we had the case specifically made and designed. The design was done by Kent Clausen. It's made out of nylon, so it's impervious to any of the chemicals that we use. All the lettering is done with epoxy ink, so it won't come off either. The heat sink is mounted in the back. and completely isolated, so you can't short it out to anything. It has rubber feet on the bottom, so it sits down flat, and it's very convenient to use.
I'd like to introduce to you now Keith Plested of PB Products and Cecil Schumacher, both of whom are scrutineers at these World Championships. Keith, could you tell us exactly what you do here, please?
Okay, well, all of the cars before they go on the track, and that's each and every time, will come to scrutineering. I'll have to go in the box, checked for all the dimensions, comb from there onto the scales, now checked for the minimum weight. They must exceed a particular weight as specified in the rules, and then they'll go on to check for the motor. That is all there is to a check. We have to do every car, every run. So we can cover everything. We have some other things if we can see. Anything else that is not right, we can check them, but visibly we can check most things as we go.
So they keep you pretty busy then?
Oh yeah, it's a full-time job.
What happens if somebody objects to a car? What's the procedure then?
It's quite simple. The rules are here. We have the equipment to check it. It passes or it doesn't. There's no question about that.
Marshals, please, from the 8 mile, any more?
Practice is only limited to 1 day, so they don't have a great deal of time to check out what their car needs to make it work on this particular track. Also, this is a good time for testing out how their motors themselves are operating and how they're lasting out on the gear ratios. This is Bernd Mobus, who is from Model Imports Hamburg and Kyosho, Germany, who's been putting a lot of work in here with Kyosho and was very much part of the briefing team held yesterday by the Kyosho team. Tell us a little bit about Kyosho, Germany.
Yeah, we have taken over Kyosho, Germany for about 1 year now. And we are doing very well with the Kyosho line so far because they're coming up with really a lot of new exciting products. And especially they are doing very much for the racing scene, for the racing guys. They are really very much into techniques. So I think we can expect very good cars and equipment from them in the future. They're also very much in the motor business. They are constantly developing new motors. And in the moment they are working on new magnets, which are claimed to have something like 30% more magnetic power.
So you're helping develop the cars for Kyosho also in Germany?
We try to do a little bit. We are helping them very much regarding motors. We give a lot of advice regarding motors, and we think we can improve the motors very much.
What speed controller and batteries are you using on your cars?
Regarding batteries, we only use pushed MIH batteries, which is a special technology which gives increased capacity and especially increased voltage, ending up in more punch for the motor. And speed controllers, we are sometimes using some Futabas, we are using some scratch-built one. We not have found the final solution, and we're also using some CS ones. So this is just a mixture.
The programme for this event will consist first of a time practice in heats format, and then 6 qualifying rounds in which your best time out of those 6 qualifying rounds would count towards final positions. You would then have a round of final practices before going into the main finals. This would be the same also for four-wheel drive. In the centre of this picture, you now see Gil Losi Jr., the defending four-wheel drive world champion.
Coming here to Romsey, to the IFMAR World Off-Road Championships, the defending title. First race now, Andrew Reid of Australia. That's the leader of heat number 12, turn 1. No rear entry for someone rushing through. Race for his Mike, he's missed here in race 1. Mike Martin rolls it. Gil Losi leads. Gil Losi leads. I'd say the Mike Martin car looking the best. Number 10, he's had a few problems.
Warming up for the mains.
Here we got some of the better-known faces, certainly from America. Gene Huston's here from Associated, Mr. Motorman Mike Reedy, who I'm sure most people will have heard of, and Tony Neisinger, who is the 1/12th world champion at the moment. Mike, tell us how you're getting on with motors at this event.
It's actually very easy. The track is very easy on motors. It's not a demanding track as far as horsepower and batteries. It's a very good track. You can tune the motor for your driving. Don't have to worry about running the distance or duration.
These new cellmate from a company called Lavco, which is Mike Lavico, who's well known in the 12th racing circles, and Ken Clausen. These are the latest state of art for pack balancing. Ken Clausen, who's part of Lavco, tell us about this new development of yours.
Well, it's basically designed so that you can test your cells either before you've actually put them into a pack, or you can also test the cells after each run. And it uses a constant current circuitry, 10 amp constant current, and it basically discharges the batteries in about 8 minutes from fully charged. It measures the batteries until they reach a preset voltage point, and then it automatically shuts off.
So this is not only ideal for checking out battery packs for balance, it's a good way of keeping them in really top form and on peak performance.
Right. The basic unit that we sell, the cellmate, is designed for individual cells. We also have information with our instructions that tells you how you can discharge entire packs at one time, and that's what the boxes underneath are for. It adjusts the voltage shutoff point from 1 volt for a single cell up to 6 volts for a 6-cell pack, or 7 volts for a 7-cell pack, depending on what you're running. You simply hook it up, the red to the positive and the black to the negative on the cell. Turn on the on switch, push start, and it will begin the discharge rate. When the cell is finished its cycle, this number will automatically hold on the screen, and the discharge shuts off. Okay, and then you would just go on to the next cell, push the reset button, and go on to the next cell. So it's very easy to use.
The two-wheel drive A finalists, looking from right to left, are Mike Christensen, Jay Halsey, Kevin Moore, Jamie Booth, Chris Moore, Rory Cull, Joel Johnson, Eustace Moore, Katsunori Kondo, and Masami Hirasaka.
As the drivers are given the 10-second warning, the tension is high here at the 1/10th Off-Road World Championships, with just under 1 minute to go. 3 days ago, 120 drivers set off to become the two-wheel drive 1/10th Off-Road World Champion. We are now watching the top 10 battling for that championship. Well, they all make it through the first bend, and out in front is car number 2, Jay Halsey from the USA, followed by Chris Moore, again of the USA, car number 1, and in third place, car number 6, Masami Hirasaka of Japan. Fourth is Joel Johnson of the USA, car number 3, and in fifth place is Mike Christensen. And that's Rory Cole, car number 10 of Great Britain, taking a tumble there at the end of the first lap. Jay Halsey completing the first lap in 21.12 seconds. There are 3 different cars playing in this final. 4 Kyosho Ultimas, 5 RC10s, and 1 Yokomo car. Chris Moore and Masami Hirosaka are driving the Kyosho Ultima. Jane Halsey is driving an Opus Ultima car. Joel Johnson is also driving the Ultima. Katsunori Kondo from Japan is driving Kyosho Ultima. And Mike Christensen from the USA is driving a MIP RC10. Nick Christensen from the USA is also driving a MIP RC10. Jenny Booth from Great Britain is driving an RC10, as is Kevin Moore from the USA. Mark Christensen, time number 9, going extremely well, being followed closely by Rory Cole of Great Britain. Rory, time number 10, came in as a reserve driver for Great Britain. Oh dear, what's this? Chris Moore shunting with Mike Christensen and Rory Cole, allowing Joel Johnson to take the lead. These cars are so similar that once drivers of this class get an edge, it is difficult to get it back.
Yes, Joel Johnson in the lead now, Chris Moore second. Jamie Booth moving up into third place from Great Britain.
Four drivers driving a faultless race, with Masami Hirosaka dropping out about halfway through. Rory Cole was awarded a 10-second penalty for jumping the start.
Once again, Jay Halsey pulls away to take the top bend first. In the second bend, going wide, allowing Chris Moore through. The pile-up is between Hirosaka, Kevin and Eustace, Moore, Kondo and Christensen.
Car number 1, Chris Moore. In second place, Jay Halsey. In third place, Joel Johnson. In fourth place, Jamie Booth. In fifth place, Rory Cole.
Chris Moore taking 20.18 seconds to complete his first lap.
The cars are travelling at approximately 30 to 35 miles an hour.
So Chris Moore leads, Joel Johnson in second place, Jamie Booth in third place, Rory Cole fourth, Mike Christensen in fifth place. Katsunori Kondo now moving into fifth place, but it's still Chris Moore in the lead. Chris Moore, car number 1, followed by car number 3 of Joel Johnson from America. Jamie Booth from Britain in third place, car number 4. So it's Chris Moore in the lead. Joel Johnson of America in second place. Jamie Booth of Britain in third place. Rory Cole of Britain in fourth place. Katsunori Kondo of Japan in fifth place. Mike Christensen of America sixth.
Chris Moore coming down to complete another lap. Ball goes wide, hits the side of the track, goes into the path of Joel Johnson, throwing him wide, allowing Jamie through into second place. Oh, Jamie.
Oh, and Chris Moore's in trouble. Chris Moore in serious problems here. Something's gone wrong with the car. Now it's been replaced on the circuit, but it's not right. So through into the lead now goes Mike Christensen of America, car number 7, with Rory Cole of Britain in second place. And Katsunori Kondo of Japan trying to get into third. It's Jamie Booth in third place now, so incident packed this final. Chris Moore has got going again, but he's at the back of the field. Mike Christensen of America, car number 7 leads. Rory Cole of Britain in second place, car number 10. Jamie Booth of Britain.
Oh, there's Kris Moore upside down. Unfortunately, he's gone out.
Katsunori Kondo of Japan, number 5 in fourth place. Jamie Booth in second place onto the main straight. Katsunori Kondo.
Jamie Booth driving very cleanly, very smoothly over the jumps. The car seems to be setting exceptionally well.
1 minute to race, drivers. 1 minute to go. Still Mike Christensen of America in front. A long lead now for Mike Christensen. 12 laps on the board. Remember that the final positions in this final will be decided on laps, not positions. So Mike Christensen needs to keep going quickly to record as many laps as possible. Jamie Booth of Britain still in second place. Katsunori Kondo of Japan still third. Rory Cole of Britain still fourth. Fifth now, Kevin Moore of Britain. Sixth place, Jay Halsey. Seventh place, Joel Johnson. These two inseparable and still banging and crashing wheels with each other. 9, Eustace Moore goes through at the tail of the field. So Mike Christensen with 15 seconds to go. 15 seconds to go, Mike Christensen still leads. Here comes Mike Christensen. 5 seconds to go, drivers. 5 seconds to go. Mike Christensen goes across the line. Keep going, Mike. 4 finishes. 5 finishes. And Rory Cole, Kevin Moore finishes 8. 3 finishes, Joel Johnson. 2 finishes, Jay Halsey. 10 finishes, Rory Cole. 9 finishes, Mike. And your winner of the second leg, Mike Christensen. And a clean start. Clean start then for all of them. With Kris Moore in the lead. Kris Moore in the lead, followed by Jamie Booth and Jay Halsey and Joel Johnson. Kris Moore from America leads, car number 1. Jamie Booth from Britain second, Joel Johnson third.
Kris Moore always seems to get out on the lead in these finals, and yet he doesn't seem to hold on to them. Very unfortunate for him.
Jamie Booth from Kris Moore tempting fate and spins in front of Jamie Booth.
Jamie getting held up there. I would estimate that's put him down at about 5th place. And what's this? Jamie, unfortunately, by the looks of it, dropping out. Looks as though it could be either a motor or a speed controller fault.
Mike Christensen 5th now. And Jamie Booth has dropped out. Shame for Jamie. So Joel Johnson leads, Jay Halsey second, Katsunori Kondo third, Rory Cole fourth, and Kris Moore 5th.
Kris Moore very unfortunate not to hold the lead after his good starts. Come down to about 5th place now.
It's Joel Johnson in the lead. Jay Halsey second, Katsunori Kondo third, Rory Cole fourth, Kris Moore 5th, Mike Christensen 6th. Kevin Moore 7th. 8th is Eustace Moore, and 9th is Masami Hirosaka. That's still the order. Kris Moore of America.
Nasty spill there. Marshall's quick off the mark as usual. Joel Johnson rolling up there, losing his first place. A little bit of overconfidence there, I think. Driving not quite correctly around that line, catching the inside of the track.
So Katsunori Kondo of Japan leads. Kris Moore is second. Joel Johnson third. And it's Joel Johnson trying to go through the inside. Rory Cole goes over. So Katsunori Kondo of Japan in the lead. So ahead, trying to keep tight inside the turn. Keeping very tight there. Joel Johnson is still in 3rd place, shadowing Kris Moore all the way. Kris Moore trying to keep tight in the turn. Then he's
Kris Moore rolls it in the hollow there, and Mike Christensen on the second bend.
Katsunori Kondo of Japan in the lead. Joel Johnson in 2nd place. Kris Moore now 3rd. Masami Hirosaka moving into 4th place.
Very lucky spill there for Katsunori Kondo. Same place as Joel Johnson lost the lead at. Wrapped his area around his wheel. Very unfortunate. Let's just hope he doesn't get any interference problems from that.
Less than a minute to race. In fact, 30 seconds to race
It's
now.
the worst thing that could happen is the getting wrapped round the wheel and jamming the wheel.
It's Katsunori
It seems to be going all right at the moment.
in the lead. Car number 5, with Joel Johnson of America in second place. And now in third place, Masami Hirosaka of Japan. So car number 5 of Katsunori Kondo leads. Over the line they go with Joel Johnson in second place. Finishing now, 6 finish. 1 finish.
A good win for Katsunori Kondo. They'll now go on to scrutineering.
9
All
finish.
cars are checked
10 finish.
prior to the race and after the race to make sure there's no cheating.
Katsunori Kondo of Japan.
In third place, from the USA, Kris Moore. Number 2 in the world, two-wheel drive, the Parma IFMAR World Championship. From Japan, Katsunori Kondo. The 1987 Parma IFMAR two-wheel drive world champion from the United States, Joel Johnson.
Congratulations, Joel. Congratulations. How'd you feel?
Felt great. I never thought my world championship would come in 10 scale, you know, so I'm a 12 scale driver.
Is that right? How long have you been preparing for the 10 scale world champs?
About 2 months, a little under 2 months.
Is that all?
That's all. That's all the experience I've had with these cars.
That is superb, superb. What car were you using to win the final here today?
The Kyosho Ultima.
Can you tell us a little more about it?
It was at Ultima that I'd put a Trinity graphite plate on, and basically other than that, it had a gear diff in it, or a ball diff in it. Other than that, it was stock.
Super, super. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you.